how about the stuff at Barrett Jackson last night? Was that just amazing?
Boy, do we have a great opportunity to do something special here, but I'll tell you something. Anything that has to do with our armed forces, our veterans, right from our heart, before we even start, let's give a shout out to all our first responders, our veterans, particularly our men and women in uniform, because without them, we couldn't be here doing this, I'll guarantee you that. We love them, their sacrifice is incredible. We're honored to have right here next to me my main man, Sean Finnegan from Chevy. He's got some special people that we're going to introduce, but I'll tell you what, once we get to talking about this car, Sean, it's going to be go time, brother.
And last year, I had the fortune of driving the Z06 at the Nürburgring, and all of the experiences, all the cues, all of the trigger points that I got from the race car, I was feeling in this Z06. So it really is that race car, that street legal race car for the road.
Two big thank yous are in order. The first one goes to Chevy for the donation of this extraordinary vehicle. Our individual, foundation, and corporate donors bring our mission to life. And there is not an organization, a corporate organization, that doesn't do more to share our passion for serving our military families in their time of need and helping them overcome their financial hardships. The Chevy Corvette is the iconic American sports car, and the proceeds of this sale will go to helping us accomplish our mission to build strong, stable, and secure military families so that they can thrive, not simply struggle to get by in the communities, our communities that they have worked so hard to protect. So let's make this auction the best ever. Thank you all.
And with that, let's make history.
2, 3, and 300,000 for 5, and 500,000 down, but to get down $500,000, and $600,000, $700,000, and $700,000 down, but to get down 700, but to get 8. $1 million is bid. $1 million is bid, and $2 million won. I got $2 million. $2 million won. You're out, Jesse. And $2 million won. And $2 million won. And $2 million won. 2 and $2 million 2. And I'm going to get what do you want to pay? And $2 million 700. And $2 million 5. $2 million 6. You want 6. And $2 million 600,000 7. And $2 million 7. Now 8. And $2 million 8. And $2 million 8. $2 million 800 9. And $2 million 9. And $2 million 9. And 2999. And 29. And 29 on a meter. Get what do you want to pay to get a $2 million 900 down to get all through. And $2 million 900. And $2 million 9. Hey, you're out there. $2 million 9. $3 million. $3 million 500 down to get out to get it hit again. What do you want to pay? And $3 million 500 and $3 million 5 is bid with Jesse. So $3 million $600,000.
It's going to Rick Hendricks and whoever the other bidder was. I want to thank you. That is spectacular. With Mrs. Mousie's donation, $3 million 7.
Good morning, everyone, or whatever time of the day it is for you. It doesn't matter. You're here now. Thanks for joining us on my Coffee with Conti show right here on our Corvette channel. We share anything and everything Corvette. Some interesting conversation for you guys today, and I gotta tell you, there was a number of ways that I was going to present this to you. Because when I stumbled across this on YouTube, I subscribed because I was curious. I wanted to know, okay, what is this guy doing? I gotta see where this is going. And I kept watching and kept watching and kept watching. Finally, I reached out to Jack and had a great conversation. And I didn't take it where you would think a normal YouTuber would go, because when you guys see what he's working on in this project on the C8 Corvette, Not everybody's going to agree with this. In fact, he's actually blocked over 1,000 people because of the nasty comments and the hate. And I was up in the air and, you know, like, what? What is happening to this car? What are you doing? I just couldn't believe it. But I would watch Jack from SHADY SUPERCAR, and I loved his demeanor. He was sincere. And I'm like, okay, is this for real? Where's this going? So you get an idea of what I'm talking about and why I'm having a tough time describing it to you. Let me share with you a little bit of Jack from SHADY SUPERCAR in this C8, as he perfectly named, he calls it the C8 hackathon.
So I started looking when I put the molds up to the car and said, wow, these might actually fit on this C8. That's how this started, and that was right at 6 months ago. So I dropped the Art Deco project and started on this. So I started making the body panels. Now what you have to understand is up until today, this was just an experiment to see if it would work. So you can see here, if you look, that's quite a bit off. See, there's my hand for scale. So what is that, 6 inches, 4 inches, 5, something like that. Okay, so what I did was when I made this quarter panel, when I modified it, I went ahead and added some more material. So it fits right here. And if I slide it up to a certain point, it kind of goes where I want, but see, there's something in the middle here, right here. See how it pivots right there? This is day 7 of my C8 hackathon. The other thing is, officially, I am behind schedule right now. I spent yesterday playing with design and trying to get some stuff, and I actually ran to Lowe's because supposedly there was some phenomenal sale, and I get there and there's no such sale. Anyway, a lot of these YouTubers are posting BS. Okay, so let's get to where we are. Okay, if you look at this, I got this back section where I want it. I like the eyebrow. The eyebrow has to be a prominent feature in this car, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so I got this back eyebrow to where it looks good. It's a little bit flat to me across this top. I want it to come up a little more, but the side, if you notice, the eyebrow, this actually needs to go back more. Okay, so if I take this off and you look at this, there is this eyebrow. I took a Sharpie and marked it. That's where the eyebrow is on the side of the car. So a lot of people seem concerned. Damn. Now I've got to fill in all the gaps and mold everything in and make it look pretty, but for me, the hard part is coming up with what do I want the final design to be. And I am very happy with the final design of this.
All right, you guys, on this Coffee with Conti edition, you know from watching my channel in the past that I am a different type of Corvette guy and owner, but it's all about fun. It's all about promoting the lifestyle. I've even been called crazy. On the phone is a guy I think is crazier than I am. All right, I got to say that is Jack down in Texas, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Rick. Good morning.
I tell you what, I'm going to be right between the eyes with you up front on this conversation. I've been watching your stuff. I subscribed to your channel because I was curious. But my first thing was, what in the hell is this guy doing to this car? Is there ever an end? And in the next video, it's more, and we're cutting and we're chopping and we're taping, and I'm like, what is that? What is going on? And I think you titled it best. You're calling it the C8 hackathon. That's essentially what it is. And I appreciate you reaching out to me. I've been trying to get a hold of you, and I thought, rather than do a negative video about what you're doing, and I know a lot of people have said that to you, my viewers may, I encourage you to listen to this interview and what we're talking about. But what intrigued me was was really truly, as I'm watching your stuff, Jack, you're very passionate, you're very sincere, you have a very nice demeanor, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something on this deal. So before we talk about what the heck you're doing right now, have you had a bunch of Corvettes in the past, or what's the status with that?
Oh yeah, I've had a lot of Corvettes. In fact, I still have 5.
Oh, okay.
With 2 C8s, the one I'm modifying, and then I have the one I'm modifying. I bought a base car because I just wanted the chassis drivetrain off of it. The other one I have is a fully loaded 3LT.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. What color's that?
Blue.
Blue? Oh, okay.
The dark blue.
I did see that once on the channel. I wondered if that was your car. Okay, how about that?
That's my daily driver.
Good for you, man. Do you got a background in body work and that kind of stuff, or is this just something you're trying to figure out yourself?
No, my background's in racing. I've been building my own race cars, and then this is my first. I've done some modifications to bodies, and I've built a couple in the past, but this is not my main thing. It's just what I have to do. This started because the first car that I built, I got it roughed in, and then took it to a body shop, and they bid 1,000 hours to finish it. And I didn't even ask what their hourly rate was because it didn't matter. Because in 1,000 hours,
right.
Even at $25 an hour, that's 25,000, and it was probably double that.
Right.
So that's when I decided I better teach myself how to do body work because I can't afford to build cars and pay them $50,000 to finish it after I've got it to a rough state.
So when and I think it's neat. You see a lot of resto mod out there. Even some have run at Mecum and Barrett Jackson of late and just got incredible money. For mid-year resto mods on C5 body chassis and so forth. But when did you start the hackathon project on the C8?
I got that C8 last year about mid-year, and then I decided I was going to drive it for about 3 months and enjoy it for a little while because these projects always take a long time, and then I started taking it apart and working on it then. But I actually designed all the body panels previously off of scale models, and I was absolutely shocked when I built the parts without the car, and then when I went to put them on top of the car, it was like they fit. So I was shocked at how accurate the scale models are that you buy.
I'm just shocked at watching the progression that you've been doing on this thing. I know you're having an issue with the door handle. How in the heck are you going to get that door to open?
I took it off yesterday, actually, looked at it closely, and looks like it's just a momentary switch. So there are tons of those out on the market, so I'll know later, but I'd like to reuse the one, but that's like an enclosed switch. Part of me hates to cut up anything, believe it or not, on that car.
You did a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah. So I'm hesitant to cut that thing open, but then again, I need a switch, so I got to do something there.
What about the headlights? I mean, it looks like you've really extended the front end, but how in the heck are you going to get the headlights to function?
I'm going to go with aftermarket LED headlights. I bought a set of headlights from a 63 Super Sport, the plexiglass covered ones with anodized metal shells. So it'll be a 63, 67, something like C2 headlights on it. Okay. And then eventually I'm going to go with the real C2 headlights, but I think it was like $1,500 for those, and I just didn't want to go shot $1,500 right now.
No, exactly. Well, like any car that you find sitting in a barn and then you try to restore it, you're kind of going the opposite direction, but it's taking as much time and a lot of money is always involved in those kind of projects. Any other projects you've ever done like this before you started on the C8 hackathon?
Yeah, I've got several different cars I've done. I've done a C1 retro car. Okay. And other just several different cars, some of my own design as well.
Okay, a couple of more questions for you. I'm kind of calling you, and now I'm announcing it on the channel, I'm kind of calling you the MacGyver of Corvette. I think you've used everything to put this project together except for a piece of chewing gum. But what?
You missed that video.
Oh, did I miss that one? See, I knew it, but I've seen you use pieces of wood. You've used pieces of gutter. What else have you used on that car to kind of get the shape and form to do what you're doing?
literally anything I can find. I'm always looking at pieces and going, hey, that's kind of the curve I need for whatever, and I'll just grab it. Because you can wrap fiberglass around anything and make a part out of it.
Sure. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, and I wanted to kind of give you the background on the logic of this.
Okay.
If there is any.
Yeah, please do.
I've always wanted a Pantera since I was a kid. I worked at McDonald's, and a Pantera came through with 2 4-barrels sticking out the back, and I just went, I want to own one of those one day. I missed the chance to buy one about 2 decades ago, and I've been kicking myself ever since because I thought it was overpriced at $20,000. Now they're $70,000 for one that's in driver shape and goes way up from there.
Wow.
So then when the Corvette came out, I just want a mid-engine, high horsepower car that handles and runs good.
Yeah.
And now that Panteras are $70,000, I went, well, I can buy a base Corvette and rebody it to whatever I want, and I get way better car as an end result than buying a Pantera and fixing it up.
Well, let's face it. What you're doing on this car is not the proper way to do it, I guess, is the only way I can address this.
Yeah.
You had to have gotten, and I would have been one of those guys, because I'm, before I really dug in and started watching you, I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? And cutting the fenders and cutting this and just all kinds of materials just thrown on the car. There's just no care for the current car right now. What's some of the feedback that you've gotten, maybe from friends or neighbors or just people on your channel? You can be honest.
Yeah, I ended up both on Facebook and YouTube just having to block a lot of people because I spent one Saturday blocking over 1,000 people because of all the negative comments.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I'm even on a fiberglass car list, and I had to block people on them because they're supposed to like stuff like this. And they were all, you're crazy, you're an idiot. And they're always telling me, again, I'm doing stuff wrong. But what they don't realize is I just need to make a mold out of this.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if I use chewing gum or whatever. As long as I get something that I can make a mold off of, that's all that really matters. So what's on there now is going to get thrown away.
Okay, I was just going to ask you that. So what you've been doing, these build-up pieces, and I saw you put some black paint on that rear eyebrow just recently. Once you get the shape that you want, what's the next step beyond that?
Well, I own Delahaye USA, which we build kit cars, Art Deco cars.
Okay.
So we're expanding our lineup to go past. I went to the Street Rod Nationals, and everybody there was like mid-60s and up. And it dawned on me that at some point our customers are going to die off. So we need a new product line that's going to appeal to a newer generation of people.
Okay.
So this is the first start of that. The C8, to me, is the Fiero of the future. I mean, the advantage is it's a chassis. You can unbolt the body panels, and you can put any body on it you want. So when the C8 prices come down 5 years or whatever, I think it's going to be the kit car of the future. So I wanted to get an early start on this. It's costing me a fortune,
right? But
I'm looking 5 to 10 years down the road where I will be the one that does the cool kit cars on C8 chassis.
So it's just like those 63 and 67 Resto mods we were talking about that just generated $300,000-$400,000 at Mecum, and they're built on different chassis, not a C2 chassis. So I mean, they're drivable cars, but have that look of nostalgia that we all love with Corvette. So when you get everything done, all this kind of piecemeal duct tape and whatever else you got going on, you're gonna do you make a mold then and then have a final product that you're actually gonna paint and finish in a paint shop, or how's that gonna work?
Yeah, there's 2 options. I bought a high-end scanner, not middle-end, I guess, $10,000 scanner, and I'm working with Charlie Strickland. He has his own chassis that he builds out of basically a aluminum honeycomb, and he has a 3D printer, full-scale 3D printer.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to scan it, come up with a scanning file, and see if he can 3D print it.
Okay.
If he can't, then we're just going to go to the back to the make a fiberglass mold out of this. All the bodies in the future are going to be carbon fiber.
Oh wow, wow, that's huge.
So,
and then you got somebody who's going to paint it up real nice for you. What color are you going to paint it?
I really love that red mist tint. I've always loved candy apple red, and to me, that's the closest thing I've seen to candy apple red.
Sure.
I think it would look really stunning in that color.
Oh, I agree 100%. What do you think, and I know you got a lot of money into it already, what do you think total dollars is going to be in this project when it's done?
Just to let you know, I had a C2 that I sold to start this project. And the reason why is I looked at the C2 and said, you know what, to get it up to the performance level of C8, it's going to cost me $200,000 total, you know, the cost of my C2 and all of the stuff.
Okay.
I project that I can finish this car right at $100,000.
Okay.
And then this was the HTC, so that added $7,500. You could knock $7,500 if you wanted to do a coupe. And when I do a coupe, I want to do a split window on it. I tried, and you can't do a split window on the HTC because it would screw up with the top going up and down.
No, exactly. And what do you think timeline as far as how much longer to finish the project?
I've got 7 months in it now, and
Right.
I keep saying it's going to take another month. I switched that. It's going to take 2 months. Now, that's probably just as wrong, but I'm hoping to have it to where I can pull molds in 2 months from now.
And everything that you're doing that I'm seeing on the channel up until when you get to the final finish stages, I mean, you're doing this all by yourself, correct?
Yes, it's yeah, I wish I had help, but I actually had some people help me with some prior cars, and they start working on it, and after anywhere from a week to a month, they turn to me and go, this is hard work. And I said, what part of building a car from scratch did you think wasn't going to be hard work?
Right. Oh, my gosh. Well, taking the time to talk to you again solidifies the demeanor that you have on the channel. I still think the project is the wackiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm still scratching my head. So in closing, for anybody watching right now, and they're scratching their head and they're just going, I still don't get it. What would you say to those folks watching right now?
In the end, when you're inside one of these cars, you're driving a C8 Corvette. It just looks different on the outside. And so if you don't like my body style, ideally with our 3D printing, we should be able to put virtually any body style on top of the car. So you still have everything like a C8. Here's the thing. 5 years from now, 7 years from now, you're going to see C8s everywhere.
Right.
And I wanted a car that looked different. I don't like pulling up to a light and seeing another car like mine. Mm-hmm. So that's my goal, is to have all of the advantages of a C8, but have it look different than everybody else's C8. Oh, I wanted to say that I'm not trying, people are saying it's not going to look like a C2. The intent of this was, what if GM had, back in, when they made the C2, made it into a mid-engine car?
Right.
So the proportions are going to be wrong, because there never would have been a C2 that we know if they had done that. So I'm not trying to make it look, so people are going to walk up and go, well, it doesn't look like a C2. Yeah, I know. That wasn't the intent.
Okay. It have a low flavoring of C2.
Exactly.
Okay. Good point. Good point. Great conversation today, Jack. Thank you so much, buddy.
All right. Thanks. I really appreciate it, Rick.
Well, good luck on the project. I'm going to continue to watch. For the folks that are watching, there'll be a link in the description so they can check out the channel. Well, guys, how about that for our Coffee with Conti show? What do you think now? Listening to him talk about this project, talk about his passion for Corvette. His methods are bizarre. They're out there, man. I mean, I think calling him the MacGyver of Corvette was perfect. It really was. He got a kick out of that. I subscribed. Link to his channel is down below in the description. I want you to root and cheer him on for this wild, crazy project that you wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it for yourself, but you just saw it today. Good luck, Jack. We're all rooting for you. I know there's a lot of people supporting because you care so much about Corvette. I think the end result, just talking to you, I know in my heart the end result is going to blow people away. Now, how you're getting there scares the crap out of me. It really does. But man, it was really a blast talking with you, and I appreciate the opportunity to share the conversation and your story and your C8 hackathon journey right here on our Coffee with Conti show. Thanks for joining us, guys. Leave those comments down below, but make sure you listen to the conversation before you don't just make a comment based on what you saw. Listen and then make a comment. All right. It's cool. Thanks again, you guys. This was an honor. And I'll see you Tuesday for our little mini Tech Tuesday, an update on some other things I did in my car, and then we'll share some rides and all the fun stuff we love doing around Corvette right here on this channel.